Okay. Let's quickly do this. Not because my battery is running out this time that I have to quickly do this. I have an appointment. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today we're going to be talking about We Are What We Are, directed by Jim Mickle. So We Are What We Are. It's a very interesting movie. Turns out it's actually a remake of a Spanish horror film of the same name, directed by Jorge Michael Grau? Mostly I picked it up because I kept seeing it everywhere. I kept seeing it on Netflix. I kept seeing it at movie stop whenever I'd go. And it kept, like, somebody reviewed it and, like, you know, when they put, like, little quotes on the cover, it says, like, the most shocking ending ever to a movie ever. So it's like, okay, gotta check it out. So basically what it's about is a family of cannibals, kind of. So it's like a religious thing, and as far, I don't know, I didn't quite understand if they only eat people all the time, because like the little brother or whatever his name is likes to eat cereal and stuff, or if it's just like, oh, like a ceremonial thing, because they make it like very much like a ceremony, and they keep doing like flashbacks to, like, I guess the original, you know, like their ancestors or whatever that started this. There's a diary or something, that whatever. But I guess it's like the female is supposed to like carve up another person, and I think it's supposed to, they only eat females too, because we open with the matriarch of the family, and she's, you know, shopping, and she looks very sick and like not all there, and she slips and like cracks her head and dies, and that's how the movie opens. So it's pretty much about how this duty is being passed on to the two daughters of the family, Rose and Iris. Rose being the elder of the two, so I think the responsibility falls more on her, but Iris helps her. So it's about them kind of really figuring out like what their mom had to do, was made to do, and stuff like that. And they, you know, they have like a ceremony. They kidnap somebody and carve them up in a very ceremonial way in a basement hidden under a shed, and make them into stew. I will say the ending wasn't all that shocking, I guess, because they're kind of foreshadowing it the entire time. Because obviously these girls, you can tell there's some apprehension there, like what they have to do, like carving up the other girls and stuff like that to serve them, like, and they seem to, at least the way they were acting, they seem to have a problem with like serving their father, or their father making them do this instead of him doing it himself. So I like knowing that, and then the flashbacks where I can't remember the family name, but the daughter is made, like the family is like starving, and they carve up, the daughter is made to carve up her mother to eat by her father. So like you kind of see it coming, and it's been a second since I've seen this movie, and I think, does she kill the dad too? You kind of get foreshadowing the entire time. So I mean, while I didn't like know exactly what's gonna happen, or like guess exactly what was gonna happen, I wasn't surprised. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't surprised, because they did quite well foreshadowing it. It wasn't that shocking, and it kind of gave off a little bit of a, I talked about this in the Green Inferno too, almost like a feminist kind of like undertone to it, because it seems like the tradition of this family is for the women to carve up the bodies, and it seems like they only eat bodies of women as well. spoiler alert, you would have had time to skip now. The ending is when the family is sitting down to eat again, and there's this whole other thing, like this detective who finally figures them out and is going to confront them or whatever. And pretty much at the climax of the fight, climax of the movie, the girls pounce on the dad and start just taking bites out of him. Yeah. And they escape. But you understand that, like, they still like eating people, but they didn't like, I think that's what the point was. That it was more about them being forced to do that to other females, and like as females being forced to do that by their father. I think that was more about that. So I mean, I think this story was really cool and interesting. It was a different take on, I didn't realize I was doing like a cannibal theme. I did the the Green Inferno and then this one, and it's kind of like two ends of the spectrum almost. Kind of, not really, but it was a different take on a cannibal film. I feel like most cannibal films you see involves foreigners, you know, or tourists or whatever, traveling to another country and getting lost and then finding this like tribe, community of people that practice cannibalism. I feel like that's almost always the basis for cannibal movies, almost always. So when a different one like this comes along, it's nice to see. That's probably why I don't watch as many cannibal movies, because they all kind of tend to be the same. So I like that this one was a little bit different. And I did enjoy it, despite like not being that shocked by the ending. I think they should take that quote off the cover. I feel like it kind of sets you up for something like completely from left field, and it wasn't. It made sense. I'm not saying it was bad, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the ending was bad because it wasn't shocking, but it made sense if you're paying attention during the movie. It made sense. So, and I definitely liked kind of like the twist that it's like the girls are still cannibals, or at least that's what I understood, that they're still cannibals, but it was like their conflict was about something else, like not what you were thinking the entire time. Like not that they didn't want to eat people, they just didn't want to be forced by their dad to carve up these girls that they've kidnapped and, you know, serve it to him and stuff like that. At least that's what I understood. So overall it was good. I liked the tone of the film. It was very dark movie. It was one of those ones where it's like everything pretty much always takes place at night, or it's like super cloudy out. I enjoy those a lot. It was a very dark movie. And yeah, and it does have a few interesting twists and turns in there. I won't give everything away, just the ending. Like I said, there's a whole nother thing going on with a private investigator and this doctor, Doc Barrow, who he uncovers like what they've been doing, because he does the autopsy on the mother and finds out she has this rare disease that only comes from eating human flesh or human tissue or human brain tissue, I think, or something like that. So he figures out, you know, like little by little he pieces together what they've been doing. So that's also interesting. Overall, I think it's a really good watch. I think it's a good watch. Definitely something different. If you're looking for something not like every other cannibal movie, I think this is a good option. And yeah, again, hope they leave it here. The way they end it, like, it's like they could very well make a sequel, but they just need to leave it alone, and it'll be a great standalone movie. So if you've seen We Are What We Are, please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. I think it's still on Netflix. I can't remember though. Hopefully I don't send you there for nothing, but I think it's still on Netflix. Yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are subscribed already. And until next time, stay strange. Bye.